Hi guys, so I'm doing an updated face routine today. I know Lauren did one for her foundation routine, and I'm going to do one now too. My biggest thing with foundation and all over like face makeup is pretty much that it stays and it looks good color wise and texture wise and all that stuff. So I'm going to run you through kind of the process that I do, starting with like what's underneath and then the actual foundation, and I'll show you my two top foundations. Ugh. There's hair on my lip gloss. Totally my cat who was all over my face. My two favorite foundations and my favorite powder. I'm also going to go through like my contour and bronzer and blush and stuff. So I'm going to dive right in, and I'm going to start with the primer that I use. This is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Skin Perfecting Primer. This is a really good primer. My biggest thing about it is it feels like it does have a bit of oil to it, so it feels almost heavy when I put it on. It does sink in though, and it does cover kind of lines and pores and stuff, so that's really cool. So far I've used almost the whole thing, and it's a pretty good foundation primer. I mean, I don't really have that many what's it called, regrets buying it. I mean, it dries a little weird. Like when it's not actually on your face, it's kind of like a putty material, but whatever. My kind of biggest problem with my face makeup is that it creases a lot. I get like creases on my forehead and really around my smile lines. Worst creasing around my smile lines. And so the first thing I kind of think of is primers, and I make sure I have a lot of primer in those areas because they do crease really easy, and I'm still looking for a solution towards all that. Okay. Foundation wise, I have two foundations that I kind of use back and forth. One is my everyday foundation, and that's the Hard Candy Just Face It Featherweight Formula One Step Foundation. So this is in a little bottle, plastic, it has a pump. This foundation's really good for the price, and I mean the overall coverage, I don't have to wear concealer with this. I do though. I wear it underneath it. Oh, and I forgot to bring out my concealer. But, well, that's usually the second step. I put on primer. My concealer is the Hard Candy Glamouflage concealer, and I think I use medium. Medium, but it's still too light for me, but whatever. So, this is a really great foundation. It has a very creamy texture to it, so it is easy to blend. It is heavier coverage than what I'm used to using, but I like that. It gives a really nice flawless coverage. And, I mean, it gets me a little oily throughout the day, but with powder and setting spray, I don't really notice that till maybe like now. Like, it's like 4 o'clock now. I've had this on since like 7 this morning, so for it to have that long of wear and still look pretty good and pretty stable on my face, that's a really great foundation. So my second foundation, which I like, but I was just so disappointed in, is the Chanel Perfection Lumiere. And I ended up paying like, for some reason I think this is more expensive than Chanel's other foundations. Maybe because it's new, I don't know. This is a very sheer formula. And I kind of use this as almost like my weekend foundation, or like foundation when I'm not going out like for a long period of time. Like if I'm just putting makeup on to have makeup on for the day or for whatever might come up or whatever. And for the price I paid for this, I was very disappointed. I want to say I paid like $58 for this foundation, and the first day I wore it, it creased on my face so bad and looked so gross and looked so worn and just really bad. And it didn't have that perfecting coverage that I had expected. And I find that with a lot of Chanel foundations. I have the Matte Lumiere also, and number one, the coloring on that's horrible. I can't find a color in it. This I had a problem finding color in. Originally they gave me 40 beige. 40 beige rosé, and that was so dark and so red. So I went back and picked my own color, and I ended up getting a better one, and that's 20 beige. And that's really good color for me. But I will film a video talking about specifically this foundation and how to apply it to get it to look flawless and perfected. So yeah, I mean, overall this is not my everyday foundation. I attempted to wear it as my everyday foundation, and it didn't look good. So that's kind of been my problem with this lately. I do wear it though because I did pay good money for it, and it is overall a good foundation when you learn to work with it. So that's Chanel Perfection Mirror. And to apply those, I love the e.l.f. powder brush. This is like their flat top brush. It's flat on top and like that. This is a great brush for $3, and I searched for like a year to find this brush, and I finally found it, and I was so pleased by it. I have two of these that I use for my foundation every day, so pretty good brush. Now at this point in the game, I have my foundation on, my primer, my concealer, and my foundation on. Now I usually do my highlighting, and this is a mini, but I love Benefit High Beam, and I always end up with the minis for some reason. Like, I'll grab them like at that counter at Sephora, or like I'll buy a kit or something that has them in it, but I always have it for some reason, whether it's a sample or it's a mini or whatever. I love this. I also love Benefit's Girl Meets Pearl. What else? The Josie Maran Argan Illuminizer is really good if you want a kind of a warmer glow, but I'll always love High Beam. And I just kind of dot this here, 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 and here. And I blend that out with a stippling brush, and it just gives a really nice glow and a really nice highlight to my face. And both these foundations set pretty quickly, so I can move right on to contouring. And I just grab kind of whatever brush I like, and I've been using lately the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is in, here in my mouth, 350 Caramel, and it looks like that, and it's obviously too dark to be an actual powder foundation on me, so I just do it underneath my cheekbones, onto my temples. There's dye on my face, just ignore that, and underneath my jawbone, and yeah, and I do my contouring then. Somewhere along the process of this, I will do bronzer, and not every day, just because I don't feel like I need it every day. Like with a simple kind of winged liner look like this, I don't think I really need bronzer. But when my eyes are a little bit darker, I do like to throw on some bronzer to give my face some color. My absolute all-time favorite, sorry, I'm cutting this out. My absolute all-time favorite bronzer is the NARS Laguna, and this is a trio that I do use all the time. It comes with Orgasm, Albatross, and Laguna. And what's great about Laguna is that it's not too shimmery. Got caught up in looking at myself. It's not too shimmery that... What's great about Laguna is it's not too shimmery. That you get all the shimmer on your face. It's just a very nice, I don't know if it's focusing, matte bronzer. And it does give a natural kind of tan look. Now, on the topic of bronzers, I thought I'd talk about this kit I bought from Too Faced, and it is their, I have it up on my screen here, but it's their Natural Flirt Kit. And I'm just going to show you what's in here because I was kind of, oh, the Pokemon guy. I was kind of really excited for this one product, which I think is a full-size product. And it is the Too Faced Pink Leopard Bronzer. And, when I first got this, like the first day I got it, I was like, you know what, let me try this out. Bare skin, I had no foundation on or anything, and I just brushed it on 3BT. This bronzer is so shimmery. It's ridiculous. Like, it's all shimmer. I don't know if you can see that, but not a good bronzer for all over the face. It just gives way too much kind of like a golden shimmer to the skin. I can't call it a glow because it's not a glow. But I have been using this just kind of right here, the 3B area, and that gives a nice warmer kind of sunny glow to that area of the face. But going in the T-zone, it just applies too much shimmer and too much pink and too much highlight. It's just like, whoa, it's like my whole face is just bright. But this is something I'll use. I have used this as a blush. It does look really pretty as a blush too. But that came in this kit with a mini, I'm assuming that this is a mini Shadow Insurance in Candlelight, a mini Lashgasm mascara, and a little brush, and a Glamour gloss, and what is this? And a little eyeshadow. So this is a really cool kit, and I've been wanting to try a Too Faced bronzer for a while now. I'm going to do a whole video on this when I talk about, like, traveling makeup or whatever. But I thought that was a really cute kit. Overall, the bronzer, I can't register as using it as a face, all over face bronzer. I can use it as a blush and maybe in the 3B. That I can register. Okay, so moving on from that rant. I'm moving on to blush. Now, if I'm not using Orgasm or Margin from MAC, which I don't have over here, but it's like a warm, kind of bronzy glow. My other favorite blush is Pinup from Hard Candy. And this is one of their mineralized ones. I have it on today, if you can tell. It's very pretty. And I have used this wet, and using it wet, it's just too kind of blue toned. It's already naturally got some like blue streaks in that, and when you apply it wet, it just gives off way too much. But using it dry, it's the prettiest, just glowy, pretty blush. So yeah, so now I've gone through contour and blush and highlight and all that stuff that I've been doing lately. So now is normally when I'd apply powder, and my favorite powder is the Hard Candy Welcome Matte powder. I don't know why I'm showing you that. It's a translucent mattifying powder that does keep my makeup looking great, and I find that I really only have to apply this a couple times during the day if I have to reapply it, which I don't normally have to. But yeah, I do love this powder. This is a great powder. So now that I've got that on, I usually only apply it in my T-zone, and maybe underneath here, just that added security of, like, if you're hugging someone or you're touching your face, that it doesn't come off on anything white or anything like that. But that's kind of the last step that I usually do before I apply a setting spray. So I've been using, and this is going to sound really sad because I should just invest in the big size, but I can't. I just haven't been able to lately. So I've been buying the mini sizes of the Urban Decay All Nighter Long Lasting Makeup Spray because this stuff is amazing. I mean, this stuff keeps my makeup on all day. Like, I'll get home, I'll look in the mirror, and I'll look like I had applied it this morning. Which I find that if I just use powder, I don't see that. Sorry, in my skin. But that really makes it look great. So that's kind of my updated face routine. It has changed a lot. I was using a completely different set of products, and now I think I've finally kind of gotten this where I like it. Sometimes this foundation, the Hard Candy Just Face It, can get a little orange on me. And this is in shade Light. I wasn't going to go for the medium because I'm not that dark right now, and I don't want to have to be orange every day. So if I do feel like that, sometimes I will mix a drop of this because this Perfection Lumiere is just so yellow. And that's kind of with this new range from Chanel with the Perfection Lumiere. It's either very, very yellow or it's very, very pink, and that's kind of the way Chanel is with their foundations. But I do have to say, as an everyday foundation, this is absolutely great. I look great with it on. It lasts. Blah, blah, blah. So this has kind of ended up as a full face foundation routine. I was gonna come on with no makeup and just show you how I apply just foundation and concealer, but I thought I'd make it more fun and show you kind of the overall face products I've been using every day and how much I like them. So that's it for this video, and I did make a vlog channel, so I might link that below. I'm not sure yet. I might film a video specifically for that, but I also have a Lamazon's Take New York video coming up of me and Lauren and our shenanigans together. So until then, see you guys.